Hello guys, my name is Cristian Castano and I'm a professional athlete and national record holder for Colombia. I'm also an AIDA instructor trainer and part of the Alchemy team. The first tip I'm gonna give you is to learn proper skills first. What do I mean by this? If you are a beginner in freediving, if you've never taken a course, what will be important to do is to know how to properly swim, know how to float, how to use a mask and a snorkel will be very helpful for you and very safe later to go on a freediving course or to try to do some deep dives. But I also mean for when you are already at, let's say, decent deep diver, it will be good to train all the technique to make your dive safer. How do we do this? Of course, by training in the pool. If you want to switch to disciplines, maybe let's say you're doing free immersion and you want to do monofin dives or you want to do no fins dives, the best thing to do is to go in the pool and really train your technique to improve all your skills and then to make safer and easier deeper dives in all the other disciplines. Okay, next tip is use proper equipment for your dives. And by this I don't mean that you have to buy the latest, fanciest equipment. You don't need the best wetsuit, the best mask, the best fins, but you need to have proper ones, things that are gonna make it safer, so things that are not gonna break. And I'm not only talking about the equipment that you're gonna be wearing, but also the equipment like that you're gonna bring to do the setup. Like for example, to have a nice buoy, a nice rope, a nice stopper for the rope, because if one of these things fails or the carabines are old and rusty, it could be dangerous if you lose it, if the line comes out of the carabine, if the stopper doesn't work and you keep going down, and then just have proper safe equipment for your setup. So a nice stopper, a nice rope, a nice buoy, and just decent fins that are not gonna break, a mask that is not gonna get flooded with water, can really help you to keep it on the safe side. The next tip I'm going to give you is, of course, not to hyperventilate. This is a very, very important rule in freediving, and it comes from many freedivers who maybe practice without having any knowledge of freediving before, and then they do it just in their places where they live. Maybe they go spear fishing or they hear their friends. It's really easier to do dives when you breathe strongly, but definitely this is a must, something you must not do, because it will be very dangerous. It will do the opposite of what we want, which is to hold our breath for longer. It is very likely that you will end up blacking out if you do it super strong without even holding your breath for a long time, because all the vessels in your brain will contract and the blood will drain. So don't do this. Even if at one point you're gonna feel it's easier to hold your breath when you hyperventilate, actually it is gonna make shorter your breath holds and make it super risky. So don't hyperventilate. Learn with a proper instructor, take a proper freediving course and learn how to breathe and just focus on relaxation, and it will be a lot better and a lot easier. Next one is a very common problem that might happen when we go to a new place where we freedive and it's a really warm place, like most places where we freedive, right? Like Egypt or the Caribbean or Indonesia, the Philippines, are places that are very hot and that you might end up sweating a lot more than normally, and the problem is dehydration. So the tip is to stay well hydrated. Drink as much water as you can. It will never hurt you for your diving, because we digest water in a really fast way. So stay well hydrated, and I would recommend you even to put some rehydration salts or electrolytes in your drinks to help you stay good with that hydration of your body, because when we are really low on bad dehydrated, we can have a really bad impact in our performance. We are gonna be feeling really tired, and we're not gonna realize sometimes that the problem is this. So it really happened to me. I really improved my dives after having well hydration when I first moved to Egypt, and it really made a difference. So stay well hydrated. One more very important safety tip is to pay a lot of attention to your surroundings when you're doing a deep session or a session near the shore, right? And by this I mean that sometimes, if let's say you're with your friend and one of you is just really focused on relaxation, breathing, maybe even have the eyes closed, the other one, the one who's gonna be doing the safety, should also be aware of what's going on. By this I mean sea life, and also the, for example, traffic boat. It's not nice, and it has happened to us a few times in San Andres Island that we're very relaxed preparing for our dives, and then a big shark sneaks behind your back. It's not good, so pay attention to that. Also to jellyfish. Some of them can be dangerous, depends on the place of the country or of the world where you are. And also it's not good when a boat comes really close to you. They might not see you. It will be good if you can bring a flag or something that is really visible for the boats. But also then you have to stay paying attention and make sure that you can see the boat from far away. And because also some of them don't make that much noise, and I'm talking about Indonesia, the Junkungs, when they come, they are very silent, so you need to pay attention to that as well to avoid the problem and that the boat hits your freediving body. Next tip will be to take care of your body. Of course, our body is our main tool for doing freediving, so we need to be very fit for when we're going in the water. How are we going to take care of our body? By eating well, by stretching before our dives. Like that we're going to prevent having any cramps or any problems, muscular problems when we dive. We don't want to have a problem muscular when we are deep and then we have to go all the way up. So if we eat well, if we don't eat too much before our dives, then we're also going to feel really good in our breath holes in our system. So yeah, stretch and eat well will be the other tip to take care of our body before we go for our dives. And the last basic tip I'm gonna give you is what we always say is the most important thing in freediving, and I have to say it even if you probably have heard it a million times, is never ever to freedive alone. It is very important that it doesn't matter the kind of diving, it doesn't matter how easy it is, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're never gonna go on your own, you're gonna be risking your life, and it's something that we just don't do. Please keep it safe, it's for the good of all of us. If you don't dive alone, if nothing happens to you, then we're gonna build a better reputation for the sport, and we're gonna be doing a much better thing for all of us. So don't freedive alone, always go with a buddy, and take care. That's it. Goodbye.